Hello again, this is eBike Bert. And I am on the Margraff's Lake Trail. Oops. Coming up on some pedestrians here. Kind of hard to see on the video, but they're not very far in front of me. As I've mentioned before, pedestrians have the right of way. I'll ring the bell, tell them I'm coming around, but oh, on your left. Oop, I'm gonna wait. Thank you.
Hello.
There we go. Thank you. Now that's kind of a bad situation. I never try to zip between them, even though when I first saw them approaching each other, I could have made it. But that's not the point. The point is slow down, even stop like I did. Be courteous. Only takes one bad rider to make a bad name for all of us, especially e-bike. Because most people don't know the difference between an e-bike and a regular bike. But it only takes one rider to make a bad impression, and we're all bad. On the several hundred miles I've gone, there's the lake. You can't see it with my camera. I've only had maybe 2 trolls yell at me. Hello. Now the pedestrians have the right of way. Now he moved over, nodded and said hello. If he'd stood there in that lane, I'd have had to go off on the grass, or I would have just stopped and waited till they walked by. I haven't had anybody, well, almost one. The one troll I had did that. Yelled at me to slow down. I was coming at them and I was barely fast enough to stay upright. Yeah, this is the Margraff's Trail. It's pretty dense. And I think this is where I want to go. Yeah. Another beautiful trail. And it's kind of mid-afternoon here on Thursday, so there's not a lot of traffic. Where you get a lot of traffic walking, biking, with families, and it's, you know, everyone has a right to be here. It's usually on Saturdays and Sundays. Like the first Sunday it was 70 I rode, it was heavy traffic. Hello. There you go. Powers Lake. Another nice trail. Nice to get away from that traffic. Well, it is 4 o'clock, so it's rush hour. But it's nice to get away from it. You know, I haven't gone down here. I think it just goes into housing. Getting kind of rough. Some of those expansion ruts there, they keep pretty good maintenance on them though. Whoops, left and right. I think we'll go down here a little bit, not too far. You can really get turned around in the back of these places. So I'm going to go back. Yeah, and someday when I have more time, I'll learn how to use my GPS a little better. I have to explore some of these. Yeah, this is kind of rough. But it's still early yet. I noticed they've done some patching on some of those ruts on the other trail. Haven't gotten to this one yet. But they do a pretty good job of maintenance on these trails. I think I'll get a drink of water and then continue on. Just bear with me a second. Kind of taking you around the long way. Went out on the street where the walkers, and like I emphasize, I will keep emphasizing, pedestrians have the right of way. Now this is Powers Lake Road, and it is very heavily wooded, much more than Margraff's. Much more. Oof, she had strong perfume on. Oof. Maybe it was a dog. Point of interest and security. I see a lot of people walking by themselves, especially, oh goodness sake, especially young gals by themselves. If you do that, that's fine. But please, carry a can of pepper spray with you. And be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what's behind you, what's in front of you. It doesn't mean you have to worry about what's in front of you or behind you. You can't do that. But be aware and have a can of pepper spray. It doesn't have to be, I have a big one, but I have pockets. Hello. But a good shot in the face of a perpetrator will give you enough time to get the heck out of there. And if you do that, and if, whoa, those are the tough ones. Hello. And if you use it on someone, don't be chintzy. Give them the whole can. When they start screaming and holding their face, that's when you take off. And then you replace that can. Once you use it, there may be some in there, but disperse it somewhere in the bushes after you leave. And get a new one. And be merciful. Don't just a couple of shots. Just press that into their face. Oh yeah, this is the one that's got the entrance to the trail down here, and it's very, very steep. I ride my brakes down that because you can excel 20, 24 mile an hour just going coasting down there very, very easily. And the corners are blind, especially with the leaves being out. And you don't want to smash into someone. You come up behind someone so quick you can't respond. And they're probably not watching. So, very nice. Most people are. Now see, my bike is parallel to this, but we got a really several angle grid here, and I'm riding my brakes pretty hard to keep it down to 13 mile an hour. That levels out a little bit. These are things you'll learn by doing it. And you'll know where on a hill you're coming up. You're going to have to really push the throttle down to make her go. Now e-bikes come in bigger. Well, this is a 48 volt 15 amp. I could get a bigger battery, but my motor is still 750, but I could get a bigger battery which would help me up the hills. You know. But even to replace this battery, well, not a bigger motor, but a bigger battery. We got a little perpy up here. And then blind corner. Be on your left, but I'm slowing down. I'm slowing down. Thank you. So that was kind of a tough one. Well, we're at 16 and a half minutes here. I think I'm going to pull up pretty quick and shut this video down, have a drink of water. I never say have a drink. I don't drink anyway. But have a drink of water. Drinking liquor and riding bicycles or motorcycles or driving cars is a